Now I'm going to show you standard form. This one takes a little bit more work because the equation is ax plus by equals c. Notice that we do not have the letter m, so therefore we cannot tell what's the slope by just looking at it. So even though this letter is next to the letter x, this does not mean this is the slope because that's not the letter m. So in order for us to be able to find the slope, and in order for us to be able to graph it into decimals, we're going to have to take a couple of steps. So for example, let's say you have this equation, 3x minus 6y equals 27. The first step is to label your A, your B, and your C. My A is always next to the letter X, so the number is 3. The B is always next to the letter Y, so that number is -6. The C is always next to the C is always the very last number at the end, which is 27. Once you're done labeling it, this is step 1, label. You're going to find the slope, and the slope is -a over b. So in other words, my slope will be negative, and then the number I have for A is 3, so I'm going to put 3. The number that I have for B is -6. Once I have this fraction, I'm going to go ahead and type it into decimals to see if it simplifies it. So I'm going to type -3 over -6, and it gives me a decimal. If you go ahead and press this button, it's going to change it back to a fraction. So it did simplify it. So therefore my slope is 1/2 or 1/2. This is my slope. Now, in order for us to find the y-intercept, that formula that we use is c over b. So the number I have for C is 27. The number that I have for B is -6. Now I'm going to go ahead and type it into decimals to see if it simplifies it. So 27 over -6. If I click on this button, converts it to, it simplifies a fraction. So my fraction is actually -9 over 2. So now that I have my slope and my y-intercept, I'm going to write it into the equation y equals mx plus b, because this one has the slope and the y-intercept. So my slope was 1/2. So I'm going to put 1/2 x. And my y-intercept turned out to be -9 over 2. Now that I have that, I can already say that my slope is 1/2. My y-intercept is -9 over 2, or 0, -9 over 2. And then to find the 0, all you have to do is type this equation into decimals. So it's going to be y equals (1/2) x minus 9 over 2. Notice that 9 over 2 is also the same thing as -4.5. That's your y-intercept. And then your 0 is 9. This is where it's touching the x-axis. Or